Hi everyone, and it's been a while, so let's start properly this. My name is Clara and I'm the owner of this channel, The Ink Path, where I used to talk about books. And today we are going to do a little bit of a catch-up video because it's been a real long time, almost 3 months, since I've posted a new video and I want to tell you why. So welcome to my update in live catch-up. I don't know how I'm going to call this, but this is a Bookish catch up about what it's been going on. Okay, see you in a bit. First things first, why I haven't actually posted a video. Mainly because I have, well, as you may know, I am a PhD student and I have my own research to navigate through, and lately this has meant that I had to do a lot of writing, a lot of revising and a lot of reading of academic stuff and articles that I couldn't count and I couldn't include in my channel. Does that mean that I actually stopped reading? No. I continue doing my reading, but I didn't have as much free time for reading, for leisure, or at least not as much as I really wanted to have. It is true that I have still a lot of reviews to post, a lot of reviews from the summer that I read, books over the summer, and I really want to chat about it. The problem is that Booktube, as I already mentioned in other videos and in other catch-up videos that I've done in the past, the community is not only about posting video as it is. This is what it seems like, but I will probably spend 2 hours filming the video and another hour more editing it. Therefore, I miss or I lose a lot of hours of my workload that I actually need to be more focused on. Because of all of this, I decided to stop the channel. I also decided to take it easy and not being very stressed out about it, because every time I try to focus on keeping all in a balance, when I have proven myself that I'm a little bit off track, my anxiety has reached a peak and I don't want to be stressed or anxious about the channel when it's something that I really love doing. So I've decided to stop and rearrange my calendar and my syllables so I'm able to film again. So yes, I have done a lot of bookish stuff. I've read a little bit more, and that's what I want to talk to you about in this video, because even though you haven't seen it, I've been involved in a lot of bookish activities and I've been enjoying 2-3 different books that I am really trying to finish at the moment. So going back to the bookish activities, during these 2 months, almost 3, that I've been away, I've been to a bookish a book release, a book presentation in Madrid, in the capital of Spain. A book called let's say it correctly, a book called Amor y Virtud bajo el prejuicio. Amor y Virtud, it's the beginning of a trilogy written by the booktuber. She self-published the trilogy originally, and now she's been in contact with Onyx Editorial, which is a publisher company that offered her a contract to release again this trilogy with more material, with a different cover and all. And I have already met Rolly before. I met her through Booktube. I follow her on her channel that I will link down below, but I've never read her books. So as I said, I've never met her in person and I've never read her books. However, my dearly friend Christine, the owner of the blog Un Diván en el Salón, where she talks about literature and psychology, and she tries to match both fields in book reviews and other content, which I will link in the description box as well. She writes in Spanish, but if you control Spanish, I think you'll be able to follow her. She really likes Rowley's style, and she knows the characters in the trilogy, so she offered me to go to the signing and the presentation of the book, and we were chatting with her, with the author, and another author that is friend with Rowley's, Sonia Lerones. Sonia Lerones is also a Spanish author. I already knew Sonia, and I was really keen to meet Rowley, and we were chatting with other people about her new released version of the trilogy, or at least the first part, and I decided to pick the book up, which I will show to you in my following up, or my nearest book haul that I want to film. And then we went to, Christine and I went to a literary awards ceremony that is called Templis. The Templis are young adult literary awards given by a digital magazine, called El Templo de las Mil Puertas, like the Temple of 1,000 Doors. It would be a really bad translation, but that's the translation I can come across most recently. This magazine is a digital magazine centered around the YA category and more adult books that can be appealing as well for teens and later teens, and they become a really big thing in a few years ago. So they are established as a guide through YA fiction, and it's really funny and really nice to see how the YA gets the recognition needed and deserved. And also the good thing about this literary award that was open to the public, if you wanted to join and become the audience, is that you could actually talk to the authors that were nominated in that edition. This year, however, it was even more special because the awards got to the awards got to its 10th year anniversary. So it's really nice to be part of that and chat with authors and members of the magazine to discuss about the books that we love. And then after that, I went to celebrate the International Women's Day. I went with Christine to the meeting and the protest that the women involved in the book industry were celebrating in a place called Cuesta de Moyano, which is a very historically known slope that is near Parque del Retiro. I will post photographs if I can. In this specific area near El Retiro, El Retiro is a park as known as, I don't know, Hyde Park in London or Central Park in New York. Even maybe it's not as big as Central Park, but it's big enough for Madrid. So in one of the gates that gets to this park, there's a very known kind of area. It's a slopey kind of area, that's why it's called Cuesta. And historically they were stalls, and they are still stalls of booksellers and particular readers who sell their books either new or second-hand. Historically, it was like a second-hand book, a street market kind of thing, and it has evolved to not only having second-hand but also having brand new, cheaper kind of books. and it's a very known place for people who love literature and books around Spain. So the meeting here was to point out the things that need to change in the book industry for women, for having a fairer employment environment, and also a fairer, more accessible literary environment for those who work as writers, publishers, translators, and everything in between. What we did was to not only read this kind of list of things that need to change, and we hope they change throughout this year and the years to come, until the point that these kind of acts are not necessary, but we also created this kind of mural of books written and translated and edited by women in order to manifest the presence of women inside this working sphere. And I love this because as an aspiring writer, I feel that it's really hard for women to get into this field when historically I'm not going to say the majority, but there's a really big amount of writers that were female, and because they were female they were shadowed by male authors, or they were forced to use a pen name, or they even have as much offers in order of publication in publication offers instead of the male counterparts. And I hated this, and I wanted to contribute. So I bring one of my recent reads that I'm really finishing at the moment. It's The Butcher's Hook by Janet Ellis. I brought this book with me to this event, and I placed it in the wall among others of female writers, and I adore it. So it was a really good experience, also because it's been a while since I didn't feel the connections with the literary world, in the sense that literary world is now my field job in a different sense. But the other day in the meeting I discovered that either as a writer or as an editor, or a publisher, this is a field that I want to belong to, that I feel like I'm more comfortable with, and I feel it's my element. So even though I'm studying books in a different, more academic style at the moment, that meeting was the confirmation that when all of this is over, if I don't find a way of getting into this working space sooner, I want to pursue that kind of literary career, either as a writer or as an editor or as a publisher. Funny thing about this is that actually in December, but I didn't have the time to show you this, I published a short story, a very short story about when I used to live in England, first as a Erasmus student and then as a master student. My short story is only one page each, and even though now looking back I have so many anecdotes to tell, I was very shy to talk about it before, and that's why it's very short, but I'm very pleased to have one work of mine published, even though if it's a really non-fiction literary non-fiction short story. It's a beginning, and I'm in a printed book, and I'm really glad. This is ¿Te has venido a Reino Unido, Pepe? Relatos de nuevos inmigrantes españoles. This is a Spanish book that recalls what Spanish immigrants are living or were living in England, in the UK, in different areas of the UK, in their stays. Some of them, like me, had to go back to Spain. Some others decided to stay. Some others, instead of doing it like me as a student, decided to go on their own to improve English, or move with the whole family to improve their situation, their economic situation. and I love being part of this. I love the edition, and I love how helpful were the editors, and I'm really glad for the opportunity. Finally, the last thing I want to talk to you about are the books that I'm reading, and I'm currently reading 3 books, although I must be reading originally 5, but I'm reading 3 books for fun. The other 2 are for my thesis, and I'm still not improving on those either, so let's keep with the ones that I'm actually reading per se. I am finishing my reread, although I think I'm halfway through Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm reading this with the daughter of my brother, that is my niece, and she is reading Harry Potter for the first time. We are navigating through Hogwarts. Apart from that, I'm still reading, as I said, I'm still reading The Butcher's Hook by Janet Ellis. I started this in January, and I am really enjoying the book, even though it's taking me longer to read because of the agenda problems that I'm having. But I'm really enjoying it. It's darker than I expected. It's more adult than I expected. I normally read YA, but I like to read adult fiction too. And this is darker and more twist than I expected. And the last book I am actually listening to, because it's an audiobook, a free audiobook that I'm listening to when I'm very tired of doing physical reading. It's actually The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I'm not sure if I pronounced it wrong. I'm sorry for looking at the screen because I never remember her name. I'm listening to this on a free audiobook that I got from Apple Store. This video is not sponsored by any means, but it's from where I got it, so I like to tell you from where I got it. And I bought it not only because it was free, but because Karen Gilliam read it. And Karen Gilliam, for those who follow Doctor Who, the British TV series, played Amy Pond, a companion of the Doctor that I haven't read yet, but she also played Nebula in the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I really love her work as Nebula too. And because I haven't seen her as Amy Pond, I decided to give it a go and see other than her serious face as Nebula. I decided to listen into her voice reading me the audiobook, and I'm really enjoying it. She's able to make all the voices and all the accents, and also I can actually enjoy her original Scottish accent, and I love it. I will tell you more once I finish it in a review, I hope. But it's a really nice children's book that I never heard of, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay, this is it. This is my catch-up. I hope you really enjoy it, and you can tell me in the comment section down below what you have been doing lately. And if you have read and finished any book, please tell me which ones were in the comment section down below. I hope I can actually see you next week, and until then, happy reading. Bye.